Hello everyone and welcome to round number 25 of the British Touring Car Championship here at Silverstone, and it's time for the penultimate weekend of the Touring Car Championship as well. In the commentary box, my name is Omi, and joining me trackside as well is Josh T. So, hello Josh T, how you doing?
Hello, it is very windy. The rain has stopped, which is a good thing because if you look up, I'm not undercover to get this brilliant view. And my phone's already on 20% because I've had it on for way too long, chatting to Omi before the race. So a change of phone might be needed.
Yep, momentarily we might just need a tiny bit of that. But other than that, we have an exciting race coming our way, of course. Mikey Durbell starting on pole position for it. But Josh T, obviously you've been there now for a few hours. How's it been out there in the
It's
wet
been
conditions?
absolutely amazing despite the rain, but I can count three full grandstands, and the 5 minute board has just gone up. I don't know if you can hear the klaxon in the background, but the grid is very busy indeed. Just in front of me is Cook, Collard, and Jellies. So I'm near the back of the grid. We've got the number 19 of Bobby Thompson and the 17 of Dexter Patterson on the row behind as well. But it is very busy at the front of the grid.
Yep, really, really busy. Obviously, as expected as well. Now we obviously had a big crash earlier on in the one of the Porsches race. Was everything all right there?
Yeah, everything was all right. Went off the cops as I loser. We don't talk about that. But yeah, straight into the Armco just at the entry of cops, which is just down that way to my left, and the grid's just being cleared. But driver walked away with some assistance, and the race was red flagged, and then we started with a reduced distance. That was 5 minutes in the fourth sprint challenge, and it made up for its name with a 5 minute sprint at the end.
Great, great, great. Now, hopefully, this touring car race will deliver some action, but we won't get any kind of delays, just a lot of good racing. We've had a few rounds that have had some good racing, but we also had a few rounds that have had a tiny bit of bad racing as well, a tiny bit of under-delivering racing that we have kind of been a bit disappointed as well once we've got to the end of the race, because that is not touring cars. So Josh T, what are we expecting today? Do you think we'll be getting an exciting one or a tiny bit of a dull one?
Chaos. I'm
Chaos.
expecting absolute chaos from what our qualifying was yesterday. We've got Mikey Dover, of all people, his first ever pole in the 3 minutes board just going up. So, Omi, if you don't mind, I'm going to dip and change phone, so you might need to change to the battle screen.
Yep, we'll go onto the battle screen for a second. No
I
worries
will
at
be back
all.
as soon as I can.
No worries, Josh T. So we'll get him back in as soon as possible. But we're hopefully going to be in for a very interesting round of the touring cars. As I said, the penultimate weekend. We obviously have the three races that take place today. Round 25, round 26 and round 27. And then we are going to have round 28, round 29 and round 30 taking place at Brands Hatch as we return back there as well. We had some brilliant racing earlier on in the year when we went there, but obviously a tiny bit of a different layout, I believe. I haven't fully checked, so that's probably my bad for not checking that before coming on. But that's gonna hopefully we are gonna be getting a very, very great touring car last two weekends as well of the season. George in the live chat as well, saying hi Omi and hi Josh T. Now obviously Josh T will be returning very shortly. If you are wondering where Josh B is, he is covering MotoGP right now as it stands. So he might join us by the end, depending if MotoGP finishes and what goes on with all of that. But we are going to be hopefully getting underway soon. So schedule start, or planned start time, as you can even see right now at the top of your screen, was 11:30. And the reason why we were a tiny bit delayed, because obviously the stream was meant to start a tiny bit earlier, was just a tiny bit of a delay as everyone was getting in. Unfortunately, we aren't able to bring you everything that we usually would. Due to Josh B obviously not being here, so we can't bring you some of the interviews and some of the things that you might usually get. However, we are going to be able to bring you, what we are going to be able to bring you is some Josh T TV picks as well, like we did in Brands Hatch earlier on. So that's really, really great to have him as well, going trackside. I was meant to be going trackside, but it's kind of good that I didn't as well, because then there would have been quite a lot of issues with getting this stream going. So all of them lined up on the grid currently, and there are your commentators as well, but obviously we cannot hear from them. So with this, I think it could be a very interesting one. Now, we've seen damp races have been very interesting here in the touring cars so far. Now, as obviously Josh T would have mentioned already, Mikey Dobell taking pole position. He'll be alongside Colin Turkington, who will have the inside line. And let's actually run you through the grid. It is going to be Mikey Dobell on pole. Colin Turkington will be alongside him on the front row. Then on the second row of the grid, it's Tom Ingram alongside Jake Hill. Then comes Ash Sutton, your championship leader in P5, goes alongside Tom Chilton. Then we have Dan Camish in P7, Aaron Taylor-Smith alongside him. Then Robbie Butcher in 9th. Then Sam Osborne, Adam Morgan, Andrew Watson, Daniel Rowbottom, Pearson, and then Cook Collard as well, lining up in P16. And then we have Jelly Thompson. And then we're going to have Dexter Patterson alongside Aidan Moffat. Then Daniel Lloyd alongside DeLon as well, who's in 22nd. Then Gamble alongside Boutel. And then we're going to have Michael Crease. And I wasn't able to capture the driver who's second last, but Jade Edwards is at the back of the field. That's how quick it went. I had to literally rush through it. Well, we are on to then the formation lap here as well. As you can see, all of them using wipers currently, or most of the field are as well. Once we've got the TV, once we've got Josh T back, we'll move back over to the driver tracker as they now go through. We go on board with Tom Ingram, if you are synced up now with us as well. So it'll be a really, really exciting start heading down into turn number 1 of this race. Who is going to be able to make some places and who's going to be able to keep it on the road? That is going to be a very, very crucial one. And we are still watching Tom Ingram as he makes his way through. But let's hope it's an action-packed one. Let's hope it's a clean one. We don't want delays. We don't want any of that chaos. But Dobell will be leading the field away, as Josh D mentioned earlier on. His first pole position. What can he do with that one? As the circuit is damp, and it usually does mean chaos. We have, as I already mentioned, in the wet, touring cars does mean quite a bit of chaos as well. So now let's see. Well, we have been able to get Josh T back in, so we'll move back over now to the normal screen as well for you, as Josh T just now changes over, because they're going to be lining up into position. So they're all going to be settling in and getting on the grid, but this should hopefully be a very, very exciting start to the race. Mikey Dobell obviously trying to keep Colin Turkington behind, and the circuit is wet, so it'll be exciting to see how that one goes. And remember to keep your eye on Josh T's screen, because you'll be able to see obviously the lights go out and the race beginning right there and then. So will be exciting to see how they move away. So Josh T, are we expecting to get through cleanly on this opening lap, or do you think someone will be around? If we can hear Josh G, doesn't look like we can, but we can hear the audio. That's one thing.
Yeah, Lee is into the pits.
Yep, absolutely. So here we go then. All of them getting into position right now. Dobell is not in P1 right now in that grid slot, so it looks like pit lane, as you said, Josh T. Well, here we go then. We are about to get underway then for the touring cars here at Silverstone in round number 25 of the season. We await the 5 red lights to come on your screen. But as Josh T mentioned, a lot of cars diving it in to the pit lane, so we're going to have a lot of chaos at the start of this one. There is Dobell, the man who was meant to start in P1, and let's see then as he goes through, and it's all sorts of chaos here in the touring cars. They're all lined up though, they're all waiting and to get ready, as you can see on Josh T's screen. And we can currently see second and third and further all lined up. A lot of cars also going through, but the race does get underway, and it's going to be Turkington leading the field away as he heads towards turn number 1. Are they all going to get through the opening corner off Cops? And it looks like they just about will on this opening lap, but the rain is really coming down, which is really going to cause quite a lot of chaos as Sutton there trying to get involved in the mix. But it looks like it is going to be a good start for all of the drivers as they make their way through, but a very wet start, which does mean a lot of chaos as they head into Maggot and Beckett for the first time as they all try and look for some overtakes. And it looks like there is going to be some door banging and wheel banging as they get on the power. But an interesting start to the race. Josh T, what have you noticed?
Most of a lot of cars starting for the pit lane. One who started right from the back of the grid, Mikey Doble, did not start on pole.
Yeah, we obviously noticed that right at the beginning, but they're battling all the way through as well as they go through. That is Adam Morgan involved in a scrap there as he tries to go all the way around the outside as he gets on the power. As we make our way once again, you can see they roar past Josh T as well now and head down towards Cops. It is Hill, and then it's Ingram, and then Watson also in third position, and they're still all scrapping away as Watson there trying to keep that third position. It looks like he just about will as they get on the power, but so much already is happening at the start of this one. There's a car running wide on the exit of Cops, but a lot of drivers in the rain really causing quite a lot of chaos as they go through. And also there coming into the pits also looks like Colin Turkington there is going to be diving it in, and once again they're still all over the road in this race on lap number 2 of this one.
Colin
And
Turkington was leading.
yeah, Colin Turkington then, yep, from the lead has dived it into the pits. We take a look at a replay as well, and that is going to be also Aaron Taylor Smith just ahead, and that's going to be a bit of contact there. Colin Turkington involved, so a bit of a pile up there momentarily as they all got on the power. But Watson up 10 places. What a start by him. Rowbottom also up quite a few as well, as we do see Sam Osborne involved in a scrap as we head towards Cops corner once again. But Hill leads right now as it stands, and a lot of them deciding to dive it into the pits, but it's absolute chaos at the start of this one, Josh T. As well as they get now and go into Maggots and Beck, as you can see, a lot of them really running close together as well. And is anyone going to be looking for some moves? Looks like we are going to be getting some scraps as they get back on the power and make their way all the way now down towards into the pits comes Turkington. So Turkington diving it in, and here's another replay as we take a look on board with Ingram. So
Here
we go on board with Ingram.
Massive lead to second place.
Yeah, look at the lead there, Hill, as he goes past Josh T, and there is the rest of the field as they make their way through, as they're still all very close together as they're getting on the power and heading towards Cops corner right now, and that is Morgan.
And I believe that is Ash Sutton.
Yeah, might just be Ash Sutton also, who's decided to dive it in to the pits. Butcher, they're also now in 9th position as well. And Ingram and Camish might have also dived it into the pits that lap as they've dropped down a tiny bit.
Tom Ingram, Dan Camis, Ash Sutton, Colin Turkington, all in the pit lane.
Yeah, so we expected a lot of drivers to dive it into the pits. We do have quite a bit of them diving it in. Indeed, there is Jake Hill, and he's got a comfortable advantage currently as it stands as they go through.
Ash
1 second.
Gets pulled back. He wins, but Tom Ingram gets out first.
Yep, Tom Ingram, you can see there also the race in the pit lane obviously going on as they try and get on the power. That is going to be Morgan there trying to get on the power and out drag as well. It looks to be Osborne who is scrapping with the Hill, as we already mentioned many times, with a comfortable advantage to Cops corner. He's absolutely pulling away from the field and leaving the rest to battle away for second position. It's Watson in P2, then Rowbottom in third position currently as it stands. And a lot of them diving it into the pits, as Josh T has obviously been noticing down there right on the pit straight as well. And the rain continuing to fall. How bad does the rain look, Josh T?
It is getting worse, and Dan Camis has just been pushed out. He's coming back out in the pit lane, but Colin Turkington who got spun round exit of Brooklands lap 1, is still in the pit lane.
Yep, there we saw Gamble making a move, and that's Dan Camish as well, who is making his way now to the end of the pit lane, and will be sure rejoining the road. Now we check in with Jake Hill once again, your race leader, who has a comfortable advantage, and cars really struggling to keep it on the road, some of them as well, as we've seen a lot of drivers run wide at Copse Corner, but a lot of them having to come into the pits, as Jake Hill, as you can see, is comfortably leading 4 seconds. The gap is almost, as you can see on your screens right now as well, and looks like they're all running pretty close together as well. Thompson and Morgan
coming into the pit lane. I believe that is the number 14 of Pearson. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so Pearson there pitting as well. So many drivers now bailing out of staying out and deciding to come in. That's how bad the rain is getting. We talked with Josh T a few seconds ago a tiny bit about how bad the rain's getting. It's been increasing on our camera.
Heavier, and Dan Camish, who pitted the lap before, is back into the pits.
Yep, he's back into the pits now as well, and they're still all battling through. That's going to be Rory Butcher, who is going to try and make a move.
Into the garage and now gets slapped by Hill crossing the start line.
Yeah, all sorts happening in the pit lane. So much action down there in the pit lane right now, and a lot of rain coming in, and the driver is really struggling, as you can see on the camera right now on the main TV pictures. If you are synced up with us, a lot of rain currently on there, as they all slide their way through on lap 7 out of 22, as we now momentarily watch Jelly as well, as he heads towards Copse Corner there, and he's got Smith right ahead of him. And just look and just hear that engine sound as well. It's raining, and the pit lane having a lot more action than the circuit right now, because right now they're all
and that is the 22 of Nick Halstead into the pits. Straight. That was a very quick pit stop for Pearson, and now they've got to do the same to Nick Halstead, who's just pulled in.
Edward and Chilton were going wheel to wheel. We were also watching the man who should have started from P1, did not though, as well, as that is Dobell trying to make up, Dobell trying to make up some places as well. Lap 7 out of 22, absolute chaos in this race, as they now make their way down the straight as well. But it is going to be Lloyd's currently running in 9th position, as we also see the rest of the order, and quite a few drivers in the pits still, as well, as they try to leave and trying to change their tyres as well. But look at this, all of them making their way through on the straight, and Tom Ingram as well, sitting currently in 23rd in this race. He's watching a fantastic scrap go on, as they're all struggling to find the grip as well. And they're all trying their best to keep it on the road at this stage. They're almost really losing it out of every single corner. It's really hard in these conditions for all of the drivers, especially when it's so mixed and the rain is getting heavier as we speak. And that is going to be Thompson there as well, battling with Osborne. Robotham also involved in this little scrap going on currently for 3rd position. It looks like it's going to be a kind of a wide moment, and they're going to go side by side as Morgan around the outside. Yep, as now they're about to fly past Josh T as well. There he come, and off the road there, I believe could have been Adam Morgan. Yep, one of the cars there running tiny bit wide once again. Rain continuing to fall as we head towards Copse Corner there with Ingram, as he is going to try and look for a move as well, as Ingram is getting close to the back of Collard and of Thompson, it looks like it is there. So as they're now going to run all the way side by side, and you can see a tiny bit of bodywork damage there for the number 1. So it is going to be Ingram right ahead of him. But let's take a look at this. That's how Adam Morgan ran wide in a battle at the exit, heading towards Copse Corner, and Woodcote just running a tiny bit wide, dipping it into the gravel. There is Hill still, and he's absolutely nailing these conditions. He's absolutely acing them. And he's got a 3.6 seconds. He's not coming under any pressure at this stage of the race. He's just absolutely dominating Josh T. As well as Watson then has also got a tiny bit of an advantage, about 1 second over Rowbottom. But then it's all chaotic behind, with obviously Thompson, Osborne, Morgan all scrapping away. And there we go. The battle's continuing as they get on the brakes for Cop's corner as well. There is Ingram as he goes through. And Ingram makes his way.
Edward and Tail side by side into turn 1.
Yep, so we'll see. Edward is gonna get ahead of Boutel. Looks like on our timing screen we weren't able to actually see that on the TV picture, so it looks like he has though been able to get ahead, has Edward on Boutel there. And currently as it stands, Sutton will have a 41 point advantage over Jake Hill. And then Tom Ingram sitting in third position. They'd be tied on points. So Hill and Ingram would be tied on points if it finished like this in this race. But there's still a long way to go. And as we said, it is raining. So it's most likely going to change and continue to change as well. There is Ash Sutton. There's your championship leader as he gets on the power and he tries to make some places as well. As Taylor Smith gets past Jelly. Edward past Boutel. So Boutel continued to put up a bit of a challenge. Dobell getting past Chilton there as well as we head into Cop's corner on lap 11. About getting halfway through this one. But Hill's got a bit of a comfortable advantage right at the front of the field. And we watch him again as I speak about him. And he's currently doing really, really well out there. Watson, Rowbottom up 10 places. And then we also have Thompson, who is up 14. As they continue going and scrapping. That's Jelly involved in a scrap as well with Taylor Swift, I believe. Taylor Smith, I should say. As well in that little scrap that is going on. And it's really, really frantic as they head through. And that is also going to be Ronan Pearson involved. And all of them really close together. As Edwards there looking for a move on Jelly. He was super close. And Boutel scrapping with them as well. But Josh T, have you noticed anything else so far? As also we saw some side by side there right in front of Josh T's camera. You would have seen that as he rotated it. And they're going to be going side by side. Morgan and Osborne also battling as they get on the power. Is Osborne going to be able to keep his footing around the outside of Cop's corner? That would be brave. He's on that curb as well. He's off the road. And Morgan is going to keep that position. And now is it going to open the door as well for Osborne there as he's going to try and take advantage as they go side by side continuously through these corners. But it is going to be Morgan there, who is going to be in P5. Thompson, Morgan, and Osborne currently in that little scrap that is going on. And still ducking out of the slipstream. Osborne as he looks for a move. And here we go. That is going to be super late on the brakes by Ash Sutton. And he's going to find his way by. But remember, Sutton currently not in this little battle. Because I believe he might be a one lap down, Ash Sutton. So he's not involved in this scrap. He's just trying to make his way through all of these cars anyway, though.
Bumper damage on the rear left.
Okay, Josh T will need you to repeat that. We weren't able to hear it properly. As also, yeah, with the loud sounds, it looks like he is struggling to hear us just a tiny bit. But here we go. Taylor Smith will surely be looking for a move on Josh Cook. And we cut away from that one as well. So we'll have to see right on the timing screens if he is able to make any kind of moves right there. As if you are synced up with us, you also have now the timing graphic back up on the main feed as well. But right now, you can just about see it is currently Hill, Watson, and then Rowbottom. And that is going to be Taylor Smith still trying to make a move on Josh Cook as well. And getting really, really close to the back of Josh Cook currently is Taylor Smith. One of the closest battles that are currently going on this racetrack. And are we going to be seeing a move soon? Are we going to see any kind of dive bombs as they get on the power? That's going to be Taylor Smith looking for one to the inside of Josh Cook. But can't just find a way through. And now, what about now? Putting a nose in there. That will be close to contact. There is going to be contact as Josh Cook tries to keep his foot in. But Taylor Smith finds their way through currently as they get on the power. And also Jelly now will surely try get involved as they go past. Now Josh T as well. But can Jelly try get involved? So Taylor Smith is going to improve a place. But that is how they made contact. Taylor Smith just putting a nose in there. And Josh Cook getting all out of shape on the power. And kind of having to then use Taylor Smith as a bit of a barrier to keep in the straight line. There is Hill again as we watch with him. But lap 14, Josh, are you able to hear us?
Not really.
Not really yet. So we are struggling to get a few messages across to him, and he's struggling to get a few messages across to us as well. So we'll see if we can hear from him in a second. Yeah, thank you. As well as once again they get on the brakes. Edward ahead of Jelly, and then we also have Dobell looking to get involved in this scrap currently going on. But keep an eye on Watson and Rowbottom. They look very, very close in the battle currently for second position. And Rowbottom surely will be looking for an overtake very, very soon as he gets on the power. Is this going to be Rowbottom's chance? And these two both fighting. They've both improved 10 places as we take a look at a replay. So this is going to be off George Gamble as well. And he's able to, and he's was in a battle there. Back over to Hill we go, but the main scrap we want to see is the one for second place. Is more interesting behind Hill, because Hill is doing a Max Verstappen there and is absolutely dominating, or doing an Ash Sutton as well from a few rounds ago. It's mostly the battle for second that is heating up in this one. Lap 16 out of 22. And you are going to now start to see, hopefully, a few more overtakes happen. 0.3 of a second between Watson and Rowbottom as they go through. Here we go. We now watch those two drivers, as we also have Lloyd's there in very, very close to Crease, and he's also managed to make that move. Now, are we going to see a move there for second position from Rowbottom? He's definitely going to be trying his absolute best. Moffat there making a move as well on Chilton. That's the scrap that he is involved in currently. Butcher battling away as Taylor Smith also improves position, gets past George Gamble there as well in that battle, and Bootel gets past Jelly. So Josh, have you noticed anything? So it looks like he's still struggling to hear us a tiny bit. But here we go. But obviously the engines are really loud and they're all roaring past him right now as well. But take a look at this for second place in the race. Watson versus Rowbottom. And can Rowbottom make this move? He is looking really, really close. He's looking aggressive as well. He really wants this. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to find his way through. And through Maggots as well. And he's looking really tight. We're going to take a look though further behind at a replay. And this is going to be George Gamble versus Josh Cook. Josh Cook trying to keep his foot in around the outside of Luffield and Woodcote there as well. And that is going to be some great battling between the pair of them. And Chris Cook going to keep his foot in around the outside. He looks like he did. Back over to the battle we go for second position as Rowbottom tries to make his way past Watson. And he's forcing Watson to a defensive shape. Are we going to see a move by Rowbottom all the way around the outside? Surely not. And they're about to go past. There we go. They go past Josh T right about now. And here we go. They're looking really, really close to each other as they now head into Cop's Corner on the main feed as well. Obviously a tiny bit ahead. Josh T's pictures as he's actually there in person, and we've not really got any bit of a delay. So lap 18 we're on. We're coming to the business end of this race. If anyone wants to improve places like Morgan has just done as well, into fourth position. Moffat is off the road. Moffat into the gravel trap. And is he able to keep that one going? It looks like he is going to be able to keep that one going. So Moffat going off into the gravel trap, and we're going to see a move there by Ingram, I believe, who is making the move. Sorry, Tom Chilton making a move, and now Tom Chilton will surely be on the attack as well. And there we go. Are we about to see a move for second place? They're side by side as we head on the brakes, and it looks like it is going to be Watson versus Rowbottom, and Rowbottom isn't able to find a way through, but now he's forced Watson off the racing line, and Rowbottom is going to try to get on the power. They're going to bang wheels. They're going to bang door to door as Rowbottom tries to get on the power all the way around the outside. He'll surely be pushed out wide. They're still side by side, and they don't want to give an inch, does Rowbottom. And this is absolutely fantastic racing between the pair of them, and it does look like Watson is still somehow going to hang on after all of the pressure Rowbottom is putting on him. He is still going to hang on to that second position, and this is absolutely an incredible scrap going on. And really, Watson doesn't want to give it up. Rowbottom is desperate for it, and it's really heating up now in the battle for second place in the race. And look, different racing lines now will need to start being trialed by Rowbottom. And is Rowbottom going to be able to force a way through? Now, moves happening everywhere though in the field. That's Pearson being overtaken as well and that could have been by Gamble. We'll see as well as it gets all updated as they make their way through. And the battle still continuing on between all of these drivers. That is going to be Pearson still keeping his foot into the inside. So Pearson is going to keep that position as they get on the power now and make their way through. Watson still ahead of Rowbottom somehow, even though it did look like that Rowbottom would have got that position. And here we go. Let's take a look at a replay. And this is how close it got. And you could see that's actually another move happening throughout the field. That is going to be Daniel Rowbottom. But it was Rowbottom versus Watson. So it kind of looked a bit different with that camera angle. But that was a replay between the pair of them. So they were going side by side. And that is what we might have missed while watching some other battles. Taylor Smith making a move on Lloyd's. Cook gets past Crease as well. So both of those drivers improving one position. But and Rowbottom's got through. Rowbottom has got through. So that's what we were seeing on the replay. So Rowbottom has fought his way past Watson. Can Watson now try and fight back? Is he going to be late on the brakes and dive to the inside? That is from far back, but he's definitely putting a nose in there. So Rowbottom able to fight his way past finally on Watson. So he's able to make that move. There is Hill dominating the race. So Rowbottom up 11 places. Watson up 9 as it stands. Morgan up 7. And then also Thompson up 13. Lloyd's up 12 as well. And somehow Taylor Smith is still in the position that they started the race. But that tells you none of the story of what the race has been like. That's going to be Doble versus trying to see who it is. It might be Dillon as well, who he is battling with. It is Dillon. So got that one right between these two drivers as well. So Dobell versus Dillon as they get on the power. And it looks like Dobell is going to take that position. Dillon will try fight back. We're on the penultimate lap of this race then. On lap 21. Out of 22, as there we now momentarily check in as well with Ricky Collard as he gets on the power and tries to hunt down Colin Turkington, who is the car right ahead of him. But about to go on to the final lap of the race, and it's been a race of complete domination for Hill, and Taylor Smith has really made a lot of overtakes. And as I said, still in the same position that they started the race, but that tells you none of the story of how many overtakes that Taylor Smith has put on for us. Dobell there as well, getting ahead of Crease. Jake Hill, though, is P1 on the last lap of the race we are on. So make sure you keep an eye on Josh T's pictures as he's going to come over the line to take victory. There is Crease as we watch Crease as well involved in a battle. And there is now, we're going to cut over and watch some other scraps going on throughout the field as well. That is going to be Moffat to the inside of Boutel, and they're going to run side by side as they get on the power. Who is going to take that position? It's close between both of them. No one is going to be able to get close to Hill, though, because he has put together an absolutely fantastic drive, and everyone has been struggling. There's been cars off the road, left, right, and centre, but he's kept it on the road, and he's made sure that no one can challenge him. And we're going to have Hill, who comes over the line then to win here in the British Touring Cars. Round number 25 belongs to him. It is going to be Rowbottom who will take second. Watson in third as well. And Jake Hill, an incredible domination by him. Rowbottom, Watson, Morgan, Thompson, Butcher, and then Osborne, Taylor Smith, Cook, and Lloyds will complete the top 10. But Josh T, what a great race that was. If we can hear from Josh T. As obviously he's getting loud now as they go also side by side there over the line. And that probably, I'm trying to see who could that have been for you as well. That would have been Chilton, I believe, and Dillon. So that could have been the two drivers who went separated by 5,000ths of a second over the line in 13th and 14th. Yep, so it was Chilton and Dillon, the two cars who went side by side over the line. So great stuff there, an incredible race. I think we might now be able to hear from Josh G as the engines have gone a tiny bit silent as well. A tiny bit more quiet. There's obviously still going to be a tiny bit of noise. But Josh T, how was the race?
That was an amazing race. So many battles. Mikey Doble, an incredible comeback to finish so high up from having to start last. And pit stops. We don't normally see pit stops in the British touring cars. Any race with pit stops is a good one. But Andrew Watson, we have got to point him out on the podium in third place.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff, I have to say. As well, there by Dobell, to say that he was meant to be starting from P1, wasn't able to do so, and then didn't give up, continued to recover as well. So Josh T, we're obviously going to have to end the stream right there. So final thoughts from race 1, and what are you looking forward to going into race 2?
Well, it was just a good first race, and the technical checks just going on right in front of me, but hoping for the same in race 2. It should be a good one with Watson starting third.
Yep, race 1 absolutely did deliver. It was Hill who came out on top. Well, is he going to be able to do the same thing in race 2? You're going to have to join us to find out later on today, as we'll be bringing you race 2 then. But that's it for race 1 from myself, Omi, and Josh D trackside. He'll be back as well. Will Josh D continuously bringing us TV pictures, and also we're going to have Joshua Birch back as well. Well, that completes it, as we also end, and we can see Josh T there as well in here, and how he looks after a very wet day so far in Silverstone. But that's going to continue for him. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.